South Carolina, UA among 5 women's college basketball games to watch this weekend. Caitlin Clark is gone to the WNBA, where she continues to shatter records. So where does that leave women's college basketball? As it turns out, with a whole lot of star power, much of it in unfamiliar uniforms, this season. The first weekend of the women's college basketball season is packed with must-see TV, including a couple top 25 matchups where we'll get a glimpse at teams that could make a Final Four push. Teams like South Carolina, which entered the season favored to win the 2025 title, and North Carolina State are back with lots of familiar faces, while programs like Duke and Maryland have new players that should bring plenty of eyeballs. And yes, even though they're not currently ranked in the USA Today Sportswomen's Basketball Coaches poll, the UA Hawkeyes will indeed be worthy of your attention. First-year coach Jensen, who took over after 24 years as Lisa Bluder's assistant, is expected to keep the Hawkeyes as one of the highest-scoring teams in the country even without Clark. Here are the 5 best women's basketball games to watch tonight and this weekend. 1 South Carolina versus No. 8 North Carolina State. Sunday, 3 p.m. ET on ESPN. The defending national champs got welcome news earlier this week when the assault charges against forward Ashlyn Watkins were dismissed, allowing her to rejoin the Gamecocks. She hasn't practiced with the team in 2 months, so we're not sure how much we'll see her against the Wolfpack in the first game of the Alley tip-off. And a rematch of the 2024 national semifinal won by South Carolina on its way to the title. If the Gamecocks need some rebounding Sunday, they can surely count on Watkins, who averaged 9.0 boards per game and 2.3 blocks during their tournament run. To pull off a preseason upset, NC State will need big play from its backcourt featuring Isaiah James, 16.8 pick, 4.6 reg, and Sania Rivers, 12.5 pick, 6.1 reg. 11 Duke at No. 18 Maryland, Sunday, 1 p.m. ET on FS1. The best freshman from Duke that you haven't heard of is Toby Fournier, a 6'2" Canadian forward. She's enough of a reason to tune in, though we're also excited to see transfer Sailor Poffenbarger, 10.2, 11.2 reg, in her first year with the Terps. Poffenbarger originally committed to Connecticut before transferring to Arkansas, where she was a standout player for 2 years in the SEC. This matchup used to be must-see TV when it happened annually in the ACC, and we consider it that this year too. 20 Creighton at South Dakota State. Friday, 7 p.m. ET on Summit League Network. Don't be fooled into thinking this will be any sort of cakewalk for the ranked Blue Jays. South Dakota State is an NCAA tournament regular and return Summit League Player of the Year Brooklyn Meyer, 18.7 pick, 7.7 reg. Meanwhile, Paige Meyer, no relation, is the reigning Summit League Tournament MVP. Creighton returns 7 of its top 8 scorers from last season, including all Big East players Lauren Jensen, 17.4, and Morgan Mully, 15.2, pick 6.5 reg. Virginia Tech versus UA. Sunday, 5:30 ET on ESPN2. The second game of the Alley tip-off will be the nation's first glimpse at UA post-Clark. And while the Hawkeyes lost the leading career scorer in college basketball, they replaced her with another sharpshooter in transfer Lucy Olson, who averaged 23.3 points per game at Villanova. They also return Hannah Stolk, 14.0 pick, 6.6 reg, a junior forward who had a breakout season last year and proved herself more than capable of controlling the paint on both ends. Virginia Tech is undergoing a transition with coach Kenny Brooks and star point guard Georgia Moore leaving for Kentucky, and Elizabeth Kitley finishing her eligibility. More production will be needed from senior forward Matilda Eck, 10.4, and sophomore guard Carly Wenzel, 4.2 pick. No, 12 Baylor at Oregon. Sunday, 10 p.m. ET on Big Ten Network. The Ducks are in complete rebuilding mode after losing numerous players to the transfer portal. But if you're going to start over, it's nice to have Deja Kelly, 16.3 PA, as the foundation. The North Carolina transfer will face her first major test against the Bears, which feature their own big transfer and senior center Aronet Vonla, who averaged 14.0 points and 5.1 rebounds last year at Colorado. With Vonla inside and both Sarah Andrews, 11.4 pick 3.9 knock, and Dariana Little-Page Bugs, 10.5 pick 7.2 reg. Outside, Baylor will have one of the most balanced scoring attacks in the nation this season.